the Dreyer versus Keylor Navas with that. Would that have been a gaffe? Maybe not. Just considering again, just everything in the moment, everybody was gassed. He was done in the first half. He did one sprint, but that was just enough to take him out of the game, just fitness wise. Again, reminder: a lot of these players are coming into the season. This is their second game of preseason, and I think somebody tried to call us out in the comments or somewhere, like, oh, even maybe might have been Romanians, like, what? Oh, like, oh, la gente estadounidense, the U.S. people are saying, oh, the CONCACAF champions are just a preseason to them. Oh no, blah, blah. Like, no, this is legitimately the second official game that they've played,
and it's before the MLS season, so technically it is preseason.
For sure. So we will get to some of these highlights of the game here. So let's go ahead and do that first before we hear from
same lineup.
Pablo.
Same lineup. I don't think anybody was surprised there. I think the only difference is that Valakari was finally on the bench, and then they had new signing Bryce Duke on the bench as well available, which didn't get any minutes, but only Valakari did end up making some minutes or getting some minutes. So that was good to see because ultimately he's going to be a starter when 100% fit.
Yeah. So we see, again, like you said, the same lineup available in goalkeeping. CJ Dos Santos still not match fit at this point. So Pablo Sisniega, who, you know, has that experience as a Mexican goalkeeper, the standard bearer of the Mexican people, just don't question him about it, because Mikey Vadas will step in and answer for you in that situation.
Yeah.
But this is a good kind of preview for what we'll potentially see coming for SanDiego FC against Montreal over this weekend as well, because you're going to need to start to build that chemistry, or are we going to see just completely new people in rotation? Because we have also seen that from Mikey Vadas' squad and side. But congratulations to the almost 200 people that made it over there from San Diego safely.
Came back alive,
look,
man.
It's
La hinchada de Pumas. They're
that's a real.
My brother has almost gotten stabbed out there going as part of the massacre. Like he had to like run and like hop in a cab with some old lady and say like drive because they were after him post match. Yeah, they're not nice. Like, I mean, obviously this is an MLS team, but they're an aggressive hinchada.
I mean, I also think that the San Diego FC fan base is a little different from
a massacre. Yeah, 100%. They're probably bigger too.
We see this question right now, and I love that this question is already here. Sisniega El Tri next international window.
Absolutely not.
We'll get to that because Chiva has some feelings that are probably true about it. 100%. But it was going to be on San Diego FC to defend. I heard a lot of punditry here in the U.S. saying, "Well, of course you're just going to defend the whole game," and that's like, well, no, you're going to invite.
Mikey Vadas said so, right? Like, you know, we're going to still play our game, but, you know, you do kind of have to tackle some games differently. Like, he knew Pumas were going to come out and full on attack. It wasn't going to be anything like the first game at Snapdragon. Like, it was going to be a completely different game, and Pumas came off very aggressive. The first half, they had a couple chances.
Well, did you not hear what the Mexican media said about Efraín Juárez?
I mean, to this day, they're calling for his head now. Like, Pumas fans are calling for Efraín Juárez' head. And that's the difference. Like, where Mexican teams don't fuck around with that. They will let the coach go after losing to an MLS team.
Yeah.
That's how
low they see.
Well, no, that's how big these rivalries are between Liga MX and MLS.
Very true. Did you watch them too, then? Did you?
Yeah, I watched it in Spanish. It was a little bit different. There was only like one you can mention, a lot less than the last match, but it was still a pretty exciting game. Chiva said earlier this is like one of their worst performances ever. I see it as like all one game, so I don't think I can really say that because like technically it's like a 4-1 win, right? Like
different game.
Or
4-2 win, I guess, but it's a different game technically, but also it's all the same game because technically they lose 1-0. Yeah, they gave them the cushion, which allowed them to perform in the way that they did and just kind of sit back, not really worrying, like not really even try offensively, which is what I felt like it looked like out there.
Yeah, like, I mean, again, second match, yes, it's still early, but Pellegrino is still nothing like that
he made
Pellegrino.
some big mistakes there.
Like
in this
he hit the
game.
post twice in the first half.
Okay, well, this is going to be a point of contention this whole season until they get rid of Chucky Lozano, which, by the way, I don't know if you've heard the latest of Mexico.
What his brother said?
And what his brother said. Just, like, this is where the narrative has gone in the Mexican media. His brother says in Napoli, he had his issues too with Gattuso and his technical staff. Talking about Chucky in his moment in PSV, also there were issues there. He is rude. He is presumptuous, and then that takes him to absolutely nothing. He gets influenced. Is it?
I mean, he has foul language.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people like. He's not a likable person. Essentially,
that has led to that has influenced to really a lot of teams not wanting him.
Exactly, that's the influence of people not wanting him on the squad. So that's where that's your Chucky update, I guess. For right now,
I mean that's not a secret, right? Like Chucky's a hothead and he has a lot of emotions, and he likes to talk smack. And with SanDiego FC knew who they were getting.
Yes,
come on now.
But with that, talking about Pellegrino and his opportunities, the thing that's going to be talked about from here on out is, Chucky would have scored that.
100%.
Chucky would have done this.
100%.
Chucky would have done this.
And it's no fault of Pellegrino, but it's
maybe, right? Maybe for all we know, Chucky would have gotten injured in game one. Yeah. If we're really going to go that way.
But that comparison is always going to happen, and it happens in every other team.
And so in the time that they did have some gas, a great ball here to Pellegrino. Pellegrino opens up Keylor Navas and he hits the post, right? Like the movement that Pellegrino did, the strike that he did in such quick succession, you see it here opening it up 1-2. That's a great play by inches. That doesn't go in, and people are going to be calling for his head from here on out. There was a second opportunity that he gets that we'll talk about here in a bit. But the comparison already here is being spoken about like, well, Chucky would have done this, Chucky would have done that, and Pellegrino is not worth the shit. He's not worth this. He's not worth anything. Like that's where that's going. But then they're basing it off of this game. But let me ask you the same thing then. What did Anders Dreyer do in this game?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. So where's the criticism there where it goes to Pellegrino?
Because he had an MVP season last year.
Exactly.
Like he did.
Exactly. So it's like it's
the thing is Anders Dreyer can walk the walk.
100%.
Like he did last season. Pellegrino had a good playoff run, but that playoff run led to Mikey Vada saying Pellegrino is our guy on that side. And he's putting a lot of pressure on Pellegrino. Remember, he's 35 years old. Yeah. He's not a youngster.
He's not.
He's not. So putting that pressure on him, especially...
But he was the most dangerous player in a game that you lost 1-0.
I mean, this game was just absolutely... Pablo Sisniega saved them.
Yeah, Pablo Sisniega there is my favorite. That's my favorite save that he did that day. The one-on-one just coming all the way down. Incredible stuff. But you can tell like they were gassed, they were winded. If you're watching in Spanish, despite what the lies that the reporters were telling you, because let me tell you, there were a couple of lies. I caught them. They were like, "Oh yeah, no, vamos a hablar con nuestra reportera and let's talk to her downstairs." And then they were like, "Yeah, no, SDFC is a new team that came in. They play in Qualcomm Stadium." And this and the shaming part is that it's actually somebody that's local that should know the narrative. And then the guy comes back, "Gracias, correcto, todo es cierto," and then continue with the match. But they were gassed. That's one thing that for sure was happening. We could see it in their faces. You can see it, the huffing and puffing in the first half. The bursts of energy that they had, quickly died down. This is another one that already everybody's gassed. The counterattack took everything out of it. There's no power in that shot. Like the SanDiego FC team was as prepared as they could. Here, a terrible despeje. Pellegrino once again hits the post. Let me tell you about this one. If you see it on the close-up, Pellegrino doesn't hit the post if Keylor Navas doesn't touch it. If Keylor Navas doesn't touch it, that goes out, and it's a goal kick. So
no, it's a good save.
It's a great save.
It's a world-class level goalkeeper. Like
one
now again. Like I think, SDFC came into this game, and the altitude obviously was going to play a factor. I think Mikey Vada's kind of downplayed it a little bit, which I don't think he should have, because it obviously made an impact. I think they were very lucky that they played Pumas. It's going to be very challenging against Toluca. But again, this game, they gave themselves the cushion. They got the job done in the first leg. And, if you do a good enough job at home, You survive the second leg and you pass through. Like they did exactly what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
The goal was not to win this game.
No.
The goal was to not lose by 3.
Yeah, and also not completely like die and kill yourself trying to like score goals and completely just throw all your fitness and body into this final game. I think that's a lot of like when you can't finish a counterattack. Like that's because you're up in altitude. Why are you going to go for that chance when you have a game already on the 21st again?
Mm-hmm.
They're already thinking about that too. So it's no surprise in the way that they played, and they did what they needed to do. They still got the technical W and are going to advance.
Yeah, I like SD Omar saying like, well, who committed the foul for the goal? Pellegrino, right? He's gonna be the scapegoat for
100%.
And I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna defend Pellegrino the entire time. The criticism will happen whenever he deserves it. But I also find it hilarious whenever the unnecessary Pellegrino jabs happen.
Yeah.
It's like
I didn't even break that one.
No.
I don't think people should take their frustration out on Pellegrino. If anything, your frustration should be taken out on Tyler Heaps and Mikey Vaughn.
100%. They're the ones that made this decision. So, and if it doesn't work out, they're the ones that should be on the hot seat. But yeah, no, like the first half goes 0-0. You're giving yourself going 45 minutes to still survive 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Or to not get scored on 3 goals. An early goal in the second half, though, that puts a little bit of weight to it.
I got excited a little bit. I was like, oh, do we have a game here? Is this
100%,
interesting? Is it
yes.
insane?
Yeah.
Like, what's happening? But not,
Here's the call in Spanish. It's much better. Just in general, by the way, Apple TV cutting 90% their Spanish coverage. Efrain Juarez thinking there's a chance. Like, yeah,
I'm gonna keep my job.
No, he's like, just like we drew it up, man.
Exactly. Yeah, we knew Pablo Sisniega would do that shit.
I mean, everybody is at fault here who's in the trajectory of that ball. Pablo Sisniega maybe go and be aggressive and get that ball and just create contact before it gets there. It's tough all around. If you really want to, kind of put some blame on it, there's McVay, there's Yepe, who's getting muscled off. Who else do you have?
It was not really covering anybody.
Nobody. Yeah,
Yepe
Dua's
and
just kind of
McVay,
there.
This is the second time that their man marking is not the best. It
Mhm.
happened in the first game as well in that first goal. Yepe did the slide tackle. Carrasquilla obviously timed that, but McVay lost his mark there as well. And this is gonna be
Something to follow.
This is a big season for Chris McVay because he had a spectacular season. Nobody expected him to be the best defender last season. And now it's a moment to see how he handles that. Is he going to step up? Is he going to be like the player that he was last season? Because if he's not, then there's a couple other young guys on that bench that will easily take your spot.
George saying like there was a view where number 5 had a slight touch on Yet. Like that's never going to get called in CONCACAF. There's things that are just not going to be looked at. But yeah, making it a game out of it. And so like you said, Abe, like everybody's kind of like, well, will it happen? Will this not happen? What I tell my keeper's corner is if you're not getting the ball, go back to your line so that you have time to react to the shot. Yeah. And he was kind of caught in no man's land because there was no shot. Like there's no remate. There's no second header. There's no anything for him to react. So it's a changeup. Like again, baseball term, you throw 3 fastballs in a row. You're looking for a fastball and you just dip the velocity and goes down. Pablo Sisniega again coming up huge here in the second half, doing what he's been doing, coming out bravely, closing those angles. Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah,
that's as prototypically Mexican goalkeeper as it gets. Coming out brave, opening your body and just being that guy. Here in Ciudad Universitaria, and the pressure kept coming on, right? Like it was a matter of fitness at this point. Can SanDiego FC hold on for this period of time with essentially a team that's used to playing in these conditions, a team that's been able to do it, a team that's 3 times champion of this competition, which by the way, that hasn't happened since 1989, but still 3-time champion. Some pedigree there, a good stop by Keylor Navas as well. Marcus Varston is Tomas Angel 2.0. Well,
I don't think that bad.
I don't
We'll
know
see.
yet. We'll see.
Yeah.
In CONCACAF action, we haven't seen anything from Varston. But again, this is a tournament. Different players play at different capacities, whether it's tournament, whether it's the league, and we'll see developing stories that way. Pablo Sisniega is not going to have a chance to showcase what his MLS account is going to look like until probably game 2, because Duran Free will more than likely start that game this weekend against Montreal. But there was a point where it just seems like, okay, San Diego FC just needs to do good defending, just commit to that defense. And Mikey Vada spoke about it at the end of the game, where they realized like they're not going to be able to do their style. They're not going to be able to do the right to dream way. Another stop by Sisniega here, just traveling the length of his goal and going post to post and making sure that far post was taken care of.
Which, I mean, at the same time, doing this is kind of going back to what Mikey Vadas has said all season, is it not? Saying like, we're going to still stay true to our style and play our game and attack and attack and attack. Well, you didn't do that. You didn't do that in this game, man. I personally like it because you have to adapt to the scenario that you're in.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's also backing out on what you've been saying all season. We're going to play our game. You did not play our game. You had 38% possession in this game. That's the lowest I've probably ever seen a San Diego FC game when it comes to possession.
Maybe. Yeah, I do believe so.
I agree with you when it comes to tournament games like this, where you win or go home, you have to completely like leave it all out there and make sure that you're going to advance. So it's okay to say 38% possession, fine. We'll deal with it. We're gonna let Pablo Sisniega save everything, and we're gonna advance and go play on to Luca. I don't think you can do that for a full MLS season, or we didn't see Mikey Vadas do that for the full MLS season. Like, you have to be committed to the way you're playing. Sometimes you're going to get some like ugly moments with like CJ Dos Santos. Sometimes something bad is going to happen, but ultimately over the course of the MLS season, they expect it to all figure itself out.
And obviously it's different because it's the first time this team plays a tournament or a game style where it's an aggregate score. At round 1 is game 1, game 2, game 3, and it's a one game and you're done. So, I mean, I do like that Mikey Vadas is taking that approach, especially for CONCACAF champions. I think they can be successul. I do think the game against Toluca is going to be a very, very tough one.
Yeah, it's exciting.
But it's really going to put the San Diego FC name on the map if they manage to get through Toluca. Because if they get through Toluca, then it gets a little easier.
Yeah, it gets very interesting, actually. Question for you, Chiba. Is Sisniega a better goalkeeper than Dos Santos based on the games they have played last year?
I like Sisniega better. That's just my personal thing.
That's a Greg Elson one too, yeah.
I think Mikey Vadas likes CJ better. Mikey Vadas loves the younger players.
Yeah.
I think he wants to give him that opportunity. I think based on the styles, CJ fits better because he's better with his feet, and you can get better at shot stopping. But I don't know. I like Sisniega better.
So what you're asking though is like better goalkeeper as a player individually, like just that player, or better goalkeeper for the system? Because the better goalkeeper for the system the answer is going to be CJ Dos Santos. He's better at the ball with his feet.
Yeah.
He just is more of the archetype that you are looking for in that play style, starting out the back, being comfortable. Definitely Pablo's gotten a little bit more comfortable in his own ways for the play style as well. But still, if CJ was healthy right now, I think he would have gone with CJ Dos Santos. But that's not the case. And now you have a great performance by San Diego FC goalkeeper Pablo Sisniega, who,
I do like Pablo as a goalkeeper better too.
The altitude did play a factor on them playing right to dream since they kept running around 100%. And it's only going to get higher in Toluca, about 1,000 feet more.
Yeah. If I had to choose, I'd probably choose Pablo Sisniega. It's pretty close, though. I don't think there's that much of a difference, but when you take into account the injury and what it's going to take for CJ to get back, it's still going to be a while before I think CJ really takes that starting spot away.
I mean, now that we're on the Pablo topic, like there's shouts for him to get called up to the Mexican national team, and I think that is absolutely ridiculous.
Okay,
sir.
I have a list right here. I haven't started it. It just says Mexican goalkeepers.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna see how many Mexican goalkeepers Chiva can name off the top of his head ahead of
that I would
Pablo
call
Sisniega.
up to the World Cup.
Yeah.
Let's go with Tala Rangel. Let's go with Malagon. Let's go with Acevedo. Let's go with Alex Padilla. He plays in Spain.
Memo Ochoa.
Memo Ochoa. I would call up Memo Ochoa before calling up Pablo Sisniega to the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
I would call up Toño Rodriguez from Cholos before
I was going to ask you about
Sisniega.
that one.
I would even call up Rodolfo Cota before calling up Pablo Sisniega. I would call up Cárdenas from Monterrey. I would freaking probably call up. Dude, there's a bunch of other goalkeepers, man.
So if everything goes wrong with those goalkeepers, then Sisniega would have a
So I think I got 7 or 8 that I wrote down that you mentioned. So at least 8 goalkeepers better than I would agree as well.
Yeah, look, must be a really crappy group if Pablo gets called up. Not that he is bad, but he's very, very little experience.
Maybe in the future, if he performs at an unreal level.
I don't think Pablo starts for any Liga MX team other than Mazatlan, just because their team is shit and they're in their last season and they're not going to win a single game this season.
Yeah,
I don't think Pablo Sisniega could start in any other Liga MX team right now.
Well, he had a good game. He did let in a goal that was.
He had an excellent game.
You know that any goalkeeper would kind of have nightmares of. He had a great game, but I think if Pablo Sisniega was going to be called, it's only because of nepotism and who his dad is in the Mexican Federation. ¿Saben quién es su papá, no?
Doesn't he work for the Federation? Something like that.
That's literally what I just said.
Yeah. I saw a post that said.
So his dad was there. Ivar Sisniega is the renowned Mexican athlete, politician, business executive. But he is currently.
Look at that. Mazatlan won yesterday.
Did they really?
That's how irrelevant it is. Chivas está en la cima, papá. Hace frío. It's cold.
Yeah, he is the executive president of the Mexican Football Federation. Pablo Sisniega's dad.
And he still won't get a fucking call up. That's how bad he is compared to other Mexican goalkeepers.
Not bad.
He's not bad.
There's
where
levels.
He stands. There's levels, man. Come on. These players have been starting for their clubs for years. There's players that are way younger that are just much better at the goalkeeping position than he is.
Agreed.
Don't get me wrong. He has 2, 3, 4 seasons as a starter.
He's 30.
He's 30 right now. 34. That's still a good age for a goalkeeper.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
He
can make the next World Cup, maybe.
The next World Cup, and he's playing at that level, then maybe. But it has to be consistent. You can't just play 4 good, have the last playoffs of last season, and then 2 good games, and then get a call up. That's ridiculous.
Andres Sanchez, Ricardo Peláez, he should be called up for El Tri. Let me tell you what Ricardo Peláez just needs to be brought back. And I'm not even. I might meet the guy, and he might be listening. It's the inside the pod that the insiders listen to, on both sides of the frontera. But SanDiego FC nonetheless do pass into the next round. They will face Toluca, who are the current reigning defending back-to-back champions of Liga MX. Not doing as well as they are used to, but they're kind of warming things up. They're
undefeated right now still.
They did beat Cholos Quincles de Tijuana 1-0 this last weekend. So again, if you're paying attention to how Cholos is doing without Gil Mora, Toluca was barely able to eke out a 1-0 win with a goal in the first half. But we'll definitely do more coverage on Toluca as time goes in and time rolls up. I think we'll play some of the Pablo Sisniega audio, and then we will go ahead and go into our Sarape segment here because Pablo was in post-match and just kind of talking about what this meant for him and what it meant to be able to have such a performance over in Ciudad Universitaria against Los Pumas. Pablo.
I'm going to ask you a couple in English. First and foremost, coming up with the result. Not the result tonight, but the overall series, and just tell us what the feeling is and the emotion of going into this next round.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a very hard game to play against Pumas here in the stadium. altitude was a factor, but this team just shows how resilient we are, how we can step up to any challenge. So it was amazing to see how the group responded to adversity today, and it was the whole night.
For you, first time you played in Mexico City, your place of birth, and playing in front of a lot of family and friends. What was that like for you?
It was very special. It was very special to have the support here of my parents, of my friends who came to watch me. And I mean, like I said earlier, I grew up 2 kilometers away from the stadium. So being here, playing here, my first game in Mexico was very special for me.
And now just thinking into the next round, you got to have a couple regular season games first at hand, and then coming into play against Toluca. What's the mentality there?
Yeah, we know it's going to be a very tough series against Toluca. They're big campeones in Mexico, so they're a very good team. But we just need to take it game by game, prepare in the league, and then when that game comes, be prepared to face a tough challenge.
Pablo Sisniega, starting goalkeeper for San Diego FC. Even coming back from a suspension, he should be the starter. I don't believe DJ will be ready to go.
What if Duran has an unreal game?
And he's going to hit. Well, we've heard from Mikey Vadas that the competition is very tough in that goalkeeper room. So we may see what we'll see there.
You got to come up with a new nickname for him since he got in the beard.
Duran?
Yeah. Duran the man.
So San Diego FC would play 3 games before facing Toluca, right? Monterrey, St. Louis, and then Sporting KC.
Mhm.
That game's March 11th,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, those
Not
are
bad.
games that technically should be wins, right? Based off last season. Monterrey should be a
Wow.
win. St. Louis should be a
Wow.
win. Sporting Kansas City should be a win.
Wow. All right. We'll come
Not
back.
that I'm good at predictions or anything.
Do we touch on Apple TV preview / predictions or San Diego? Well, we can touch on it here in a bit, but we'll come back for what happened to the Duran Farid watch intro. We'll bring that back. It was actually, did you remember that?
Duran watch.
Duran watch? Yeah, because it was to the
He's the only
reflex
player
by
signed, yeah.
Duran. 100%. I'll bring that back.